Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Anne Nwawado. Coming up on the program today, President Muhammadu Buhari begins a working visit to Kano State. More Nigerians arrive in the country from Libya. And Ogun State government continues to push for a bigger and better economy. Welcome once again to the program. President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived Kano State, northwest Nigeria, on a working visit. The president was received by Governors Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State, Badaru Abubakar of Jigawa State, and the Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II. Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, Alhaji Aminu Dantata, President of Azman Air, Alhaji Abdul Munaf Serina, as well as thousands of Kano residents. They all stormed Aminu Kano International Airport to receive the president. The president's itinerary includes a visit to the Emir's palace and the central prison, where he is expected to grant amnesty to some inmates. The president is also expected to commission the ultra-modern Gangiyu Specialist Hospital and the Pediatric Hospital, among other projects of the state government. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, is not happy with the recent killings in Numan and Demsa local government areas of Adamawa State following different clashes between farmers and herdsmen. Professor Osinbajo promises the residents of the village that the government will take more proactive steps to tighten security in the area. But the traditional ruler of Bachama Kingdom, His Majesty Irmiya Honest, wants the Vice President to help them arrest the culprits.
It's barely a week since Numan and Demsa communities in Adamawa State were attacked by suspected herdsmen, leading to the loss of several lives and properties. Due to this, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo visits Numan to commensurate with the people. He proceeds to some of the affected communities for assessments of the area.
We're here to seek definite and permanent solutions to the problems that have arisen here. And I think that is perhaps more important. Nobody can benefit from killing. Nobody can benefit from loss of lives. Nobody can say we have won anything at all by the killing of people, especially children and women. When that happens, the line is crossed. We must never allow a situation where killing women, children, even killing at all is allowed. It is a long-running problem. There are so many issues and all that. But it is a human problem. It's a human problem. It's not a problem caused by spirits. It's a human problem. And so it must have a human solution.
The traditional ruler of Bachama Kingdom, where the carnage took place, describes the incidents as terrible.
We are wearing gloomy faces on account of loss of lives that would have been abated. No right-thinking human being on earth will sit back and jubilate over a loss of a life, particularly in the circumstances in which we have been losing them. We pray God that this will mark the end of such unwanted killings in our lifetime and evermore.
These attacks by suspected herdsmen is not the first to occur in Adamawa State. Hence, the federal government needs to take strategic steps to protect the lives of people prone to such attacks, especially in the north.
401 stranded Nigerians have voluntarily returned from Libya on Tuesday night. The first set of 141, with majority of them males, arrived at the cargo area of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport aboard a Boeing 737 aircraft, while the second batch of 257 arrived at about 1:30 a.m. today. The voluntary repatriation was facilitated by the International Organization for Migration and the European Union with the help of the Nigerian embassy in Libya.
Boeing 737 aircraft taxis in and out of its belly. Young male and females make their way out. One touches the floor in gratitude. While some proceed to the immigration table, another assisted into the ambulance, perhaps maimed for life after the experience in Libya. Among the lot, this 29-year-old man tells us he made the journey out of hardship.
I go to Libya because there is no work in Nigeria. Find work, no work. He told me that if I read there, then if we work for Libya, then from there we cross to Germany.
For some others, Libya was an experience in between the good and the ugly. As state officials receive their own for the onward journey, a senior official of government encourages the media to do more, as some are still making their way to the northern African country.
Some might still be on their way because they don't get information about what is going on. They just tell them you're going to Europe and they don't know what they're going to go through. So massive awareness, and I appeal to the media, massive awareness of the dangers of this kind of migration.
And as they make their journey back home to their individual states, many are hoping that the state authorities as well as non-governmental organizations will rally around them to make their return more meaningful. From the cargo area of the Muritala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos, Bukola Joe Oketumbi, Channels Television News.
Now we're being joined on the program by the NAPTIP commander in Edo State, Mr. Nduka Nwanwene, to tell us more on this issue. Thank you very much for joining us on News Across Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
All right, another round of Nigerians are back from Libya. Can we call this the president's promise of evacuating Nigerians stranded in Libya and Europe?
Pardon, let me get it better again.
Another set of Nigerians are back from Libya right now. Can we call this frequency of them returning a fulfillment of what President Muhammadu Buhari said, promising evacuating Nigerians stranded there?
Well, we can say that, but it's also as a result of the focused and diligent leadership, the current leadership in NAPTIP, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons. It's a very focused leadership that has specified the rescue of victims of human trafficking wherever they may be. The agency has also specified investigation of cases of human trafficking, prosecution and rehabilitation of victims of human trafficking. So wherever they are, whether in Libya, whether in Europe, whether in America, the government, in particular the agency, is highly focused to make sure that stranded Nigerians, wherever they are brought back home.
Okay, so for all the international organizations working make sure they come back home, between NAPTIP, IOM, and the government, what's the relationship between all these organizations, and what is the assurance you're giving that the remaining 10,000 Nigerians stranded there will be brought back home?
Well, the government is very clear on it. There is no reason to disbelieve the decision of government to make sure that they are brought back their home. The agency, particularly NAPTIP, is very focused, but NAPTIP cannot do it alone. We have a robust relationship with other players, with other governments and non-governmental organizations to make sure that the victims of human trafficking, wherever they are brought back home. We work in collaboration with these agencies to make sure that Nigerians are brought back home wherever they may be.
All right. Thank you very much, NAPTIP Commander in Edo State, Mr. Nduka Nwanwene, for your time on News Across Nigeria. And when we return, we'll talk about a man who was arrested by the police and whether he has now been released. Details and more shortly. Stay with us.